Hey guys, Vincent Tshituka here.
Hey guys, I'm Emmanuel Tshituka, Vince's younger brother. Some people say I'm the better looking one, but that's
Apparently.
That's based on opinion.
Apparently.
Who are these people and do we know them?
What do you think?
What do you think? Yeah, let's also
put you on the
spot.
Guys.
Yep, that's what I thought. That's what I thought.
Okay, let's get to the reason why we're actually here. Before we start any family feuds here.
Yeah.
We don't want that. Okay, so you guys have obviously come on a long journey, rugby journey together. Tell us how this journey started. How did you guys get into rugby?
Northcliffe.
Is it?
Northcliffe. We didn't play. Well, actually, yeah, he went to Northcliffe primary in grade 6.
Grade 7.
Grade 7.
Yeah.
So you started rugby there at Northcliffe primary in grade 7. But where we originally came from, Franklin D. Roosevelt Primary School, didn't have rugby. So we were soccer players once upon a time. And then Northcliffe, we went to Northcliffe and there was no soccer. So the next best thing was rugby, and that's how our love began.
Yeah.
Okay, so obviously since you were soccer players, how easy was it to switch from soccer to rugby?
For me, it wasn't too difficult, because I mean, I always just wanted to be active, because I did athletics as well in school. I did rugby as well. I tried to do a bit of tennis. I did major production, and we did major production at the stage, but we eventually quit at some point.
Why?
Rugby.
Rugby. Yeah. But
priority.
Yeah. But so it was a easy, quick switch. I just wanted to be on the field, out playing, doing some sort of sport. So it wasn't too much of a massive shift for me.
For me, it was more. I wanted to do a sport. I wasn't necessarily like the most excited to do rugby, but it was the one sport that most of my friends were doing. So it's like you want to be with your friends, So that's how I started. I wasn't the biggest guy in school as well, so a lot of the guys played before they got to grade 8, so they had the basic skills of catching and passing. So I think for me that was the hardest. But in terms of running with the ball, I used to run sideways, like literally both of us across the field. But I think that was the better part of the game initially.
What was the one thing that you loved about rugby that made you say, okay, this is what I want to do?
I don't know. For me, I never really ever felt that I wanted to do rugby after school. I think for me, it was more athletics. Athletics was my main thing. I always pursued that more over any other sport. But I loved rugby because I got to spend time with friends. It was just a really cool environment to spend time with friends, and it was fun. And it was like a team sport. Athletics is more of an individual sport, so you don't really mix with many different people. But rugby, there's all sorts of people there with different backgrounds, different cultures. You just have a whole mix and bunch of people that come together for one purpose. So I really enjoyed that about rugby. But it was never a thing where I felt like I never really wanted to pursue rugby in high school until until about matric. When Vince started being introduced into the line system and all that, so that's when I'm like, oh, okay, cool, this thing's actually possible, Before it was always just a thing that I remember coming to Ellis Park and watching, like that was where it ended for me, It was never really a tangible reality that I could see for myself,
For me, what my biggest love for rugby is just the passion in the game. I think every time you step onto the field, there's another desire and passion that you have to do and excel. And I love the contact about it as well. It literally feels like you're going to war. And I think the nice thing about high school is that there was consistency throughout the team. So you play with the same players for 5 years, and you grow with them, and then you learn to love to sacrifice and go the extra mile for them, you know what I'm saying? Specifically when the team relied on you, the bigger moments, and you kind of like, flip, I need to deliver and I need to give more. And as a team, I think it brings a bunch of individuals together, because a lot of people that I played rugby with, I probably wouldn't have ever spoken to or been friends with had it not been for rugby, and he gave me that opportunity. And yeah, I think there's another level of passion that comes with rugby than that comes with other sports, specifically because it's a contact sport that requires more than just skill, but you need there's a mental aspect to it more than it is just physical as well. So yeah, I think that was my love factor.
Okay, and did you guys ever play together while at school?
No.
So-
Actually, the Bulls game was the first time we've ever did. Funny story, actually. The one time we were about to get the opportunity to play together was 2019 under 21s.
Yeah.
He was in the Currie Cup team and he got dropped down to the under 21 team. So I was in the team, and then when he got dropped down, I got dropped out the team. So yeah, that was our almost sort of situation where we got to play together. But the Bulls game earlier
In Rainbow Cup.
in the Rainbow Cup, yeah, absolutely. Yeah. In the Rainbow Cup that was the first time we actually got to play together. Yeah,
That was special.
yeah,
I
really,
guess.
yeah.
100%. Yeah, Flip, because I'm 2 years older than him, so we never actually got that opportunity, like in terms of competition-wise. There was never a competition that allowed for us to play together, except that one instance on 21s where I actually thought I was actually back on the club. I'm actually going to play with him, and then we didn't make the team that time. And yeah, no, the Bulls was flipping special for me. I think seeing him come onto the field was really exciting. It gave me more energy actually as well as I was on the field. It really boosted me. So, unfortunately it wasn't a perfect day. It would be perfect had we come with had we won the game. But I still think there'll be a memory that will stay with me.
Yeah,
But,
100%. You guys obviously have each other to motivate and to just encourage each other. So was that always the case growing up? Or have you guys grown closer together since being here in the same team, in the same squad?
No, I think we've always been raised like that, very, very supportive. There's four of us, and we're all really, really supportive. I don't think there's a home game that I've missed of Vince and vice versa. I don't think there's a home game that he's missed of mine as well. So we've always really, really been supportive of each other's careers. We're always there, we're always watching when we can. If he plays away, then we're always watching. We always give each other advice on how to become better players. So yeah, it's always been a thing that my parents have instilled and engraved in us, that we should always have each other's backs. And regardless, people always come up with this banter that we play the same position, and one must start, one must bench, and I feel like we still have that desire and that dream so that we will play together. It's so Flip, I'm always obviously I'm on the bench, but I'm always supporting him when he's starting, when he's playing. I know when I come on, vice versa, he'll support me all the time. So we've always been that sort of type of brothers.
yeah, it's not only with rugby. It's everything. As you said, we have an oldest brother and a baby brother amongst us four, and yeah, we've always just backed each other, whether it's school, whether it's rugby, and on top of that, we are extremely competitive.
Video games,
extremely
something like video games is just
competitive, and
cards,
we are bad winners. We are bad. If we win, we want you to feel
that we won.
I just beat you, bro. Standard.
Okay, tell me about a time that this has happened, where one of you have won, and just make the other
There's
not
one
forget about it.
specific thing that we competed a lot. That's FIFA.
Okay.
When we play console, FIFA is like our go-to competitive space, because it's kind of a game that everybody enjoys. Because obviously there's other games like Call of Duty, then there's Assassin's Creed, but those are kind of specified per individual. But FIFA is that one game where we all come together, and it just gets ugly.
I feel like it's the game of the team.
Everybody loves FIFA, but at home, it gets the TV, and the guys that aren't playing are behind, and then
when you lose, they snatch the remote out your hand, they throw you out the room.
It's really competitive. When you lose, you feel like, I can never do that again. I can never lose again. No.
So who's the current champion between you two now?
It has to be me. It has to be me.
That's a very tough call to make.
It has to be me.
But I'm humbled myself, because It's a tough call.
Yeah?
I'd like to believe that I am the undefeated champion,
Okay.
but in this moment, there is no champion because we haven't played FIFA. We haven't competitively played FIFA in a while. So let's leave it as the trophy's waiting to be held.
Okay, so we'll come back to this.
Okay,
We'll come back to
100%,
this.
100%,
Definitely.
How do you motivate each other, like before a game? Like, what do you do?
For me, I won't really necessarily say I do anything to motivate Vince.
What do you do to motivate yourself?
Myself. So like
Yeah.
I always have to start my morning off with worship music. I'm very big into in terms of my faith. So I have to start my mornings off with worship music. But yeah.
What do you listen to?
Hillsong. I listen to Elevation Worship. I listen to Maverick City. So those are my top bands that I listen to, and but otherwise I keep it very simple. I don't like to do too much on game days.
Yeah.
Try to stay off my feet until it's obviously time to come to the stadium and get ready for the game. But then before you run on, I love listening to worship as well. Again, so this worship is more where it just brings me at peace. It makes me calm and cool, collected. But yeah, that keeps me motivated. And a family prayer, usually before I leave home, my brothers, all four of us, and my mom and my dad would usually come together and pray before games. So that just also gives you a sense of just calmness and confidence as well. Very silent confidence before you go into games.
Which is important.
Yeah, very, very important. Yeah.
For me, very similar. Worship is my go-to throughout the day. The only time I probably won't listen to worship is in between on the bus ride to the stadium. That's probably the only time, and maybe one or two songs as I walk into the change room. But worship is definitely my go-to. Listen to same bands. It just gives me that thing of I know where my strength comes from. I know where who blessed me with the ability. So I just have to go out there and do my thing. Everything else is in his hands, and if anything happens and it's not my day, then it's really just not my day. But I control what I can control, and I've got the ability. So it's a reassurance that God gave me that ability. God blessed me with it. So you can't be nervous. It's like standing on the pulpit and being shy to preach a word, if that makes sense. So it gives me that extra boost of confidence. And just as I said, I love feeling passion. So those moments before we run out and we come together as a team and we shake each other's hands, that is another place where I gather more passion, and that gives me more passion to walk out onto the field and confidence on the field as well.
Okay. We were talking about competitiveness earlier, right? So at training, I saw you guys did that warm-up where you have to, I don't know what you call it, but
Pummel.
On the shoulder and things.
Yeah.
But you guys never got to that point because you guys just started wrestling each other. Does that happen a lot?
No, Philip, Vince always loves dominating his strength on me. Obviously, me being the younger brother, he's always made me feel, always tries to make me feel like loves to dominate his strength, dominate his strength towards me. So, we always do get a little bit competitive in terms of trainings as well, and being as far as team selection goes as well, we always have a little bit of banter here and there. But it's warm and healthy competitiveness, so it's never malicious or anything.
How do you experience the culture here at the Lions, and do you feel at home here with that culture?
For me, obviously, I'm a Joburg boy, so I've been here in Joburg since throughout high school. So coming to the Lions was actually very easy for me, very easy decision, obviously being close to home as well. But absolutely, I feel like there's such a different range of variety of people here. People from all over, some from Durban, Cape Town, throughout everywhere around the country, and I really feel like the Lions have done such a great job at making everyone feel inclusive, and included, and catering for everyone's a very healthy environment to learn as well. Very healthy environment to learn, and small things like coming in and like praying in the morning for each other, or if someone is having like a tough time, like a family member passed on, like mentioning them in a prayer, or it's just the little things like that is what makes it homey, and it gives it such a nice home vibe. So you do have like a family and you like unity feeling here at the Lions, in my opinion.
Yeah, for me, I always describe it as the Lions is my first love. Yeah. And with love, specifically your first love, there's not too much they can do wrong. So that's my relationship with the Lions. As I said, as Manu mentioned, growing up and being from Joburg my entire life, Lions was always the team, my go-to team. And now getting the opportunity to play here and just experience what professional rugby actually is with this union has been incredible for us. And yeah, it's always been our first love, and there's not for me to judge the Lions harshly, I don't think I'll ever see that day. They'll always have a soft spot in my heart, and I've been happy here, I've been comfortable here, I've grown here. Everything that I am, most of what I am was progressed, at least. Maybe not say both, but yeah, they really took me forward and gave me the career that I have today. So it's been massive for me. I've built a relationship with players, as I said, that I would have never ever thought I would have built a relationship with had it not been for the Lions. So just on that family dynamic, it's been good. Obviously, just like any family, you have your fights and you have your rough days and your good days, but it's definitely there is a big emphasis on that here. We as a Lions union, we emphasize a lot on just getting that team first, getting that camaraderie, and having those relationships that last beyond just the 4 white lines.
Thanks, guys. I really appreciate your time.
No worries, thank you.
Thanks,
The
Annie.
spring plays are going to go on in like 6 minutes. So
Let's get wet!